This is One on One. Recently, my colleague Joanna Gagis spoke with former New York Giants football great Shaun O'Hara about life after football, his commitment to educating the community about healthy living, and his nonprofit organization, the Shaun O'Hara Foundation, which raises money for people living with life-threatening diseases.
Welcome back. So pleased to be joined right now by Shaun O'Hara, who's a former professional football player, three-time Pro Bowler, 7 years with the New York Giants?
That's correct.
7 years. He's also currently an analyst for NFL Network and ESPN Radio. So you got your hands in a little bit of everything right now, don't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay busy. You know, I feel very fortunate to have played 11 years in the NFL, 4 years in Cleveland before I came to the Giants. But football has always been a passion of mine, and I feel very fortunate that I'm able to stay around the game and stay around the Giants and kind of keep my hands dirty with the football field. It's more ink on my hands than dirt these days.
How challenging was it for you transitioning out of a career that really forced you to stay fit, stay healthy, focus on your physical fitness, and then go to a career where you're traveling, you know, half the week during the entire football season? How do you focus on yourself? How do you make that transition? Yeah,
it's definitely been a challenge. Not having a strength coach, not having somebody that tells you, here are the workouts you're going to have to do. So you really lose that structure. And you really lose that purpose for training. You know, when you're playing a sport, when you're playing football, you're training to get stronger. You're training to get faster, and you have all these goals. So when you no longer are training for that purpose, it takes on a different challenge. And as you mentioned, the travel schedule, it's different. Every hotel has a different gym, and sometimes it's hard to get a workout in when you're hopping from plane to plane. I think the biggest thing is now, I tell people, I don't train now, I work out and I exercise.
Feels different?
It's definitely different. Before I call myself a meathead. I was trying to be a power lifter and be as strong as I could be. Now I'm just trying to be fit, maintain a healthy lifestyle. So it's much more cardio, much more, wellness, working out and exercising, supplemented with a better diet. I certainly
How did your diet change? I'm sure you were eating to be a football player, right? Mass calories and a lot of protein. How do you eat now?
Yeah, when I was playing, I called it the seafood diet. If I saw it, I ate it. And my wife even would have to force feed me because I was trying to keep my weight up. And when I was done playing, and we both realized, okay, I've got to totally change my mindset on eating. And part of it was almost a relief because I didn't feel like I constantly had to go back for that second plate to make sure that I was maintaining my weight. So that part of it was different, but I think, my wife being a nurse, she realized the benefits long term to, you don't need to be 300 pounds anymore. You don't need to continue to eat like that and eat that many calories a day. And also better quality over quantity. So certainly a lot more fish, a lot more vegetables. She's trying to keep me away from the red meat.
We're here at Giants Stadium today because NBC New York, Giants, and Hackensack University Medical Center have partnered together to bring this free expo to the people in the community in New Jersey. What do you talk to folks about when they come up and they ask you about how they can stay healthy and look to you really as a role model?
I think the number one thing is exercise. And it doesn't always have to be going to the gym and exercise and staying fit. It can be outdoor activities, and I think that's why today is so great. We've got a beautiful day, and just coming out here, you mentioned free. Free is, I mean, everybody loves free. And so to come out here and to be able to run around on the field, I've seen so many great young Giants fans, and for them to get to come out here and actually go down on the turf field, they've been to games, but they haven't had a chance to run from the 50-yard line.
It's pretty cool.
And pretend to score that touchdown. So I think, the one thing I just tell everybody is exercise can take all shapes and forms. And I especially tell young kids, play all kinds of sports. Don't specialize in one. Don't just play one sport, because every sport has a different facet to it, and each sport will make you better in another sport. So I think the exercise component is big, and I think it's very important for parents. Your kids will model you, and they will emulate what you do. So you can't tell your kid to exercise if you're sitting on the couch. So it's very important that the parents are very involved in that exercise component.
Can we talk about you for a minute? You got two small kids, right?
2 small kids.
Give a
Yeah,
shout out to
that's
your
a lot
kids.
of exercise. Yeah.
Well, that you took the words out of my mouth. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a mom. I have 2 kids who are about the same age as yours. I think 3 and almost a year. Can that count as my exercise running after those 2?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I break a sweat.
Yeah, that's an all day long workout. My son will actually be 3 on Friday, so it's a big week for us. And he actually just met Chase from Paw Patrol this morning. He came to a local
So you're a hero now, not because you won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants, but because your son just met the Paw Patrol character.
He doesn't even know what Super Bowl is, so I've got to reestablish myself with all these new ways to say that Daddy's the best. And then our daughter is 11 months old, so we're playing man-to-man defense at home, and that's in itself a workout, and it can be exhausting at times. But certainly, it's something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Being a dad, it's definitely the coolest job I've ever had.
All right, being a dad is cool. Winning the Super Bowl, cool?
Winning the Super Bowl was the best day of my life until I got married, until I had my kids.
Good thing you had the Super Bowl win before you had the wife and kids, right? Because then you won't get in trouble for saying that.
Yeah, I could say that, as long as I put everything in a timeline.
Right.
But the winning the Super Bowl was the ultimate team achievement, and it's something that my teammates, my coaches, we will share that forever. And football players are constantly searching for that immortality. And in my mind, you can only really achieve that in 2 ways. One is making the Hall of Fame, and the other is winning the Super Bowl. And I feel very fortunate that I was able to do one of those.
And 3-time Pro Bowler. What do you miss about football, and what have you gained?
One of the best parts about broadcasting is when you get to do a game day event, and to come out here on game day. And when I pull up to the stadium and I see the energy that's outside, I still get goosebumps. Even today when I pulled up, knowing that there was no game, I miss the competition. I miss giving everything to the game. I miss giving everything to my teammates. And I miss giving everything to the fans. Because that spirit is something that you really can't duplicate in the outside world.
You say you miss giving to the fans, but you're here today at this Health and Fitness Expo. You are giving to your fans. You continue to give back to the fans. What do you hope they take away from this event? What do you hope they take away from you?
Well, a number of things. We talked about exercise. I hope that they take away that a healthy lifestyle is every day. It's not just one day a week or not just sometimes. But I also feel like days like today are great opportunities to leave a lasting impression on our youth and our children. And I was a little kid that looked up to NFL players and professional athletes, and I hung on every word they said. And so I think today is really about making an impression on them and influencing them and helping them to realize that they can achieve their dreams. It feels like just yesterday that I was a kid saying, man, I hope one day I could play in the NFL. And it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't magical. It was a long process and it was a lot of work, but I'm here to tell these kids that they can achieve whatever their dreams are, even if it's not playing for the New York Giants.
You and your wife, Amy, started the Shaun O'Hara Foundation. Talk about it and its mission.
Yeah, we started the foundation in 2009, and we kind of have a general statement. We want to help increase knowledge and education in life-threatening diseases that affect children. And we kind of left it general because we were hoping that we can help cure cystic fibrosis first and then move on to another epidemic. And I think cystic fibrosis has been our main benefactor. But
why?
I got to know a young man named Shaun Squires when I was playing, and I met him. I knew him for maybe a year, and I didn't even know he was battling cystic fibrosis. I didn't know anything about it at the time. And then his father told me that Shaun had it. And he asked me if I would get involved in helping out with it. And I asked him to educate me on it because I didn't know anything about it. And I found out that cystic fibrosis is considered an orphan disease, which means that it affects less than 200,000 individuals in our country. But yet, the orphan disease label comes from the fact that it gets zero federal funding. So our government doesn't give any money towards research and towards finding a cure. All the money that is raised towards finding a cure for CF is raised from private donations and private events. So my wife and I said, you know what, this is something we can get behind, and let's use my name, let's use our contacts and whatever resources we can gather to try to help make CF stand for Cure Found.
Where can people go to find more information?
They can go on SeanO'HaraFoundation.org and find out some information. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm trying to get hip with social media. So they can find me on that at Shaun O'Hara 60. We actually have our premium annual fundraiser coming up this Wednesday, May 18th, at Trump National in Bedminster. It's a great day. I get a lot of my former teammates and some current Giants, as well as some Jets players, and a lot of local celebrities that come out and support.
That's terrific. And make sure you stay on that social media because your kids are going to know it before you do.
Yeah, I'm going to be on it to try to keep an eye on them, too.
Exactly. Shaun O'Hara, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Joanna.
That's terrific. Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Hackensack Meridian Health, Gary's Wine and Marketplace, New Jersey Resources, MD Advantage, Passaic County Community College, the Give Something Back Foundation, and by NJM. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.